This is the A and B Conversation Podcast.
BSmith, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I see you're doing some interesting things on Instagram and YouTube, creating a podcast. I think the people should know a little bit more about you. I got some questions to ask you.
What's good?
Okay. How did you get the nickname BLove?
When I first moved down to Atlanta when I was about 16, I got cool with this dude named L Boogie. And he always said every time I came around, every time he seen me, whether I was around nothing but females or whether I was around nothing but dudes, I always had a positive vibe about myself and I always spread love. So he just started calling me BLove and it just stick.
Okay. So where are you from?
I'm from East Side, Buffalo, New York.
Okay. How was growing up in Buffalo?
Man, it was crazy. It was rough. I grew up with just me and my moms. I had a big family. But Buffalo was crazy. You know, shootouts all the time, cops everywhere, crackheads, dope fiends. You see a little bit of everything, but I really didn't know how poor we was until I moved down to Atlanta. I remember when I was young, my mom used to call it the Iron Man shower, or no, Iron Man bath. So I might have been like 6 or 7. She always did it while I was growing up. But what she would do was she would take a big huge pot and pour water in it and then put the pot on the stove. And then that's how she would heat the water up and make my bath. So when I'm young, I used to look forward to it. And then one day I was telling one of my homeboys about it. I might have been like 8 or 9. I'm telling my homeboys, like, yo, when I get home today, I'm gonna take an Iron Man bath. And I explained to him what it was, and he was like, fool, y'all ain't got no gas. That's all that mean. And then I'm like, and then I learned, like, that's what it was. We didn't have no gas at the house. And my mom used to have to heat my water up on the stove because we had to have an electric stove. So as I got older, once I realized what it was, I finally told my mom, like, yo, mom, like, I know what you doing. Like, I know we ain't got no gas. The gas is off. And she just broke down crying. But it was what it was. We made it happen. And then I just used to take my showers at the school before I came home. But it is what it is.
Okay. Well, what did you want to be growing up?
When I was young, I didn't know no better. Everybody you seen was living check to check. Everybody was on welfare, living in the projects, living in the hood. So growing up, the only dudes that had money was the dope boys. The niggas that was hustling, selling weed, selling coke, whatever they did, pushing that. And that's what I wanted to do because I knew I didn't want to live check to check. I wanted to have some money in my pocket.
So what made you realize selling drugs or being a dope man wasn't what you wanted to do?
When I moved down to Atlanta and I start seeing dudes driving Beamers, dudes driving Lexuses and, you know, nice cars and having houses, and they wasn't pushing no dope. You know, they just had regular jobs, regular good jobs. You know, they was the CEOs of their companies, or they, you know, they was getting the money the right way. So I remember I had a homeboy that was, he was a Colombian dude. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but that's what his family did. They transported drugs, and I think it was around, I might have been like 21. I had got fired from UPS. So I end up running to him in Walmart. So I'm chopping up with him and I'm telling him, like, yo, I'm down bad right now. Like, I don't have, you know what I mean? It's kind of rough. I got my own place, but I don't have no income coming in. So I remember he ended up telling me, like, yo, I got family members. We need somebody to take some work from Atlanta to Charlotte. So I'm like, yo, I can do that. You driving at night? So I'm like, cool. So I agreed to it. He like, you ain't gotta touch nothing. We're gonna put it in the trunk. You're just gonna take it there. So I'm like, well, I had to take it there. So I'm like, okay, cool. Literally, I was supposed to take that load down on a Friday. That Thursday night, I was just sweating all night long. I couldn't sleep. And I finally called him like, hey, bro, I can't do it. Because I'm like, yo, nobody got caught, but it'd just be my luck that I get pulled over and get caught up on something. And I knew right then, like, yo, the drug game is that's just not me. I ain't rocking with it. I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So what made you want to be an entrepreneur?
I remember one day, I might have been about 23, and I'm just working job to job, doing the whole warehouse thing. I had a SunTrust bank account at the time, so I went to SunTrust, and there was an all-white Beamer in front of me. It was beautiful. I think it was like a 750. It was clean though. So I pulled up. It's a late night though. Might have been like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm just going to get some money at the ATM. And the dude that got out the Beamer was a white boy. And he looked dirty though, like dingy jeans, grass stains all over the place, holes in his shirt. And I'm like, yo, how is this dude driving that? So I'm like, okay. So he goes up to the ATM, he doing a little transaction, he keep looking back at me. So I rolled the window down like, hey bro, like I'm not on no funny stuff, you know, I'm not about to rob you or nothing like that. He looked like he was a little nervous, so he was like, okay buddy, like that. So he come back, get back in his car, I gets out, I goes to the ATM, and the slip, he just got his money and just left his slip. So I grabbed the slip, and buddy had like over $200,000 in his account. So I'm like, wow. So I walks up to the car and I'm like, hey bro, you left your slip, but yo, I just want to know what you do. I don't want to get in your business, but I need to know how you look like that and you got all this bread. Dude told me like, yeah, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. He said he dropped out of high school in like the 10th grade. So I'm like, wow. And he said my dad bought me a lawnmower. So he said he woke up one morning, he cut his dad's grass, it was mom and his dad's house, and then he cut everybody's grass in the whole subdivision for free. And he just left his number. Yo, if you like what I did, call me. So he said he started out just cutting all the grass in the subdivision. Then they, eventually start paying him. And then people start referring him. So then he said not even a year later, he was cutting like 4 subdivisions, like 3 high schools, a couple libraries. And then in literally a year, he was like 18 years old, making like over $200,000 a year, cutting grass. And that's when I woke up like, wow, like I can really make bread out here just doing my own thing. And that's what did it. That white boy that I met at SunTrust Bank that night.
So what is your vision for the podcast?
What I want this podcast to be, I'm still searching for a co-host right now, but my main vision for this podcast is to display a level of Black entrepreneurship and Black excellence. It's so many people, especially young people, young men and young women, who feel like the only way I can make money is stripping or is selling dope, or if I don't make it playing ball, I'm not gonna be nothing, or if I don't make the football team, if I don't make it to the NFL, I'm not gonna be nothing. And that's really the stigma in our young people. And I feel like there is no platform that shows that you can just be a hard worker at doing whatever you do and be successful in life. So that's why I want to make a platform for Black entrepreneurship and for not just young people, older individuals too, that's still struggling, trying to go to school, trying to figure out their way through life. There is really no platform that I know of that people can tune in and see young Black people being successful. Everything you see on TV is we fighting each other, we killing each other, we arguing, this person sleeping with this person, baby mom, and it's trash. Like TV is really watered down now. So hopefully this podcast, years from now, 2-3 years from now, can be that platform where people can tune in and see Black positivity, because everything is negative right now.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
People are talking about people. I just ignore them, but they keep us saying we laugh just a little too loud. We stand just a little too close. We stare just a little too long. Maybe they're seeing something we don't, darling. Let's give 'em something to talk about. Let's give 'em something to talk about. How about love, 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 scuba, dig it, I don't know.